Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we're back with another slime video, and you get Dark Joker today, because I don't feel like turning on this light. But it is the official end of the half anniversary as of tomorrow, because that's when we get the live stream for the next meta, and then the next meta will drop either that night or it will drop Tuesday night. I don't really know, because this is a weird thing where the live stream happens the 29th in the morning, but the banners aren't supposed to leave for another 2 days. So it leaves on the 30th, which normally they would coincide, where these banners would leave like a couple hours after the next meta begins. So I don't know. I don't know if the next meta is starting tomorrow night or Tuesday night. We'll find out tomorrow morning, I guess. But I figured now would be an excellent time to kind of go over everything that the 1.5 anniversary has given us, or at least try to locate everything that the 1.5 ANNI has given us, and compare it to last year's half anniversary in a kind of side-by-side format to figure out which one was actually better, because obviously it's a whole year apart. Things have changed in the game, so I thought this would be an interesting video to do. So I have glossed over all of my videos. I'm currently in the middle of that project of doing the entire Slime Games timeline, so I pulled a lot of information from that, going through all of my old videos, all of the old screenshots, and I have compiled a list of not only how many crystals I think we got between the two anniversaries, but also the list of events and things that the games brought for each half anniversary. So looking at this right here, this is for the original half anniversary, and I know it's kind of small, so we'll just kind of make it bigger. So this is what I am relatively seeing as close to how many crystals we received, or how many other things we got regarding summons during the original half anniversary. So back then, we still have the weekly login reward. You get 30 crystals every 7 days. Mine is on Tuesday. It kind of depends on when you log in. And then the daily missions, they were still at 20 apiece. They hadn't introduced the Koban shop yet, so we didn't have that extra little bump that people get if they are subscribed to that. So it ended up being 20 a day for a total of 560 crystals right there over the course of the entire Half Anni. And then this is the story event. This is the milestones, or not the milestones, but the actual story event that they had for the dragon thing, Mabobber, with Veldora and Milim. 190. The milestones were 280. We had the EX challenge quests return, so that was 5 apiece, so we got 25 crystals there. Tempered Edge was still a thing back then, and that gave us 90 crystals. And then Jubilee Blitz, just completing the stages and getting the complete milestone rewards, gave us 100, and the same with Catalyst. And obviously, we don't have Blitz anymore, so Tempest Harvest, we had 5 of those for a total of 300 crystals. And then we had Tria's Awakening Trials, which we don't have that anymore either. 75 crystals, and then Predator Battle, 20 crystals. So that gave us a total of 1,860 crystals just from this column right here. Now moving over into this is more of like a one-off kind of thing. So daily login bonus crystals, so they had the big giant login as well. It actually gave them 1,000 instead of 740 or something like that we got. So a little bit better over there in the past. We got a 300 crystal live stream reward, which we didn't get this year. We also had the Rimuru Soothing Days event, which is kind of some random one-off story quest that you did once and it gave you 100 crystals. Cool. And then we have the ranking rewards from Blitz and Catalyst Jubilees, which can range, if you take part, from 40 being the lowest amount you could receive by attempting the match, up to 1,200, because 600 times 2 for top 0.1%, whatever, 1,200 crystals. So that can vary quite a bit. And then we had the new nation expansion missions, which if you didn't know that, I clicked on the wrong thing, but they had just introduced the riverfront, this area right here. And so it originally only came with this long little stretch of land here, and it wasn't this long either. So they introduced this, and then you had missions regarding building it and expanding it, making it long, having these extra sides. That came later on, these 2 sides, but there were missions attached to extending this out So we had some crystal rewards from that. We also got 5 floors of Tower of Isis, which we didn't get this year. So, I don't know, they're kind of, not really focusing on that. But that was 250 crystals, which is quite a bit between all the missions and tower rewards and crystal rewards and all that. And then just the tower chests itself gave us another 150. And then we had the 3 million downloads, login, and separate quests that gave us 100 apiece. So that puts us at, between 2190 to 3250 if you got, top percentage in Jubilee. And then going over into this third column right here, this is all like the free tickets we got. Free summons that we received during the half anniversary. So we had 4 login tickets, we had 10 bingo tickets, we had daily 4-star tickets, and we had 6 mission tickets. So these 3 right here were the free multis that we got. So that was 20 tickets, so 2 multis, like normal. And then this was the daily 4-star, guaranteed 4-star single. Let's not confuse that with what we have now, which is just a daily single, which has so far given me like 11 3-stars. So, but that went for 17 days. So that's a total of 37 single summons, which, if we put that into a crystal count, each single is 30 crystals. It gives us a value of 1,110 crystals that we got from this. So if you combine all these together, we get, between 3,950 and 5,110 overall total crystals if you did everything, and if you, attempted Jubilee and either placed low or you placed very high. That's how many crystals we got during the original half anniversary, plus the 37 single summons. So if you want to, do math, that's another 1,110. So that's what, 6,220 total crystal value, right? That's pretty good. So let's now take a look at what the 1.5 anniversary gave us, and it's going to look different, but also similar. So going down here, we still have the weekly login, 30 per week. Hasn't changed. The daily missions now can give you, between 20 up to 33 crystals, because if you're subscribed to the monthly pass, you get an extra increase in your dailies, and that also includes your crystal count. So you can earn between 620 and 1,023 crystals if you are subscribed. So a little bit different than the 560 we got there, because the half anniversary went on for a bit longer. The 1.5 anniversary went on for a bit longer. As a side note, I'm not counting the technical official start of the 1.5 Anni with Shizu and the hero, because that would have just given this an unfair advantage. I'm just counting pretty much the month of May, with the 2 or 3 days into April, late April, into the end of May is this entire, date range of this. So, up to 1,023 crystals, cool. That's if you're subscribed. If you're not, you still get 620, which, is still more than we got here. And then we've got the event story, 140, which is a little bit down from 190, because they kind of streamlined everything, right? Instead of having 3 separate tabs, it's, just one thing right now. Go into quest, and we go to the event story quest. And, it used to be beginner, normal, and expert stages, and now it's just one long list of stages. So that is a difference right there. We got the event milestones, which 15, 280. Yeah, they really fucked us on milestones missions for this down here. It's less crystals and more, materials. The flip cards. Oh, I forgot to add that. The flip cards. Hold on. There you go. Alright, we'll add that down there. There's no crystals on the flip card, but yeah, they really took away our crystals from the milestones, which is not great. Predator Battle up from 20 to 25, because we did get another difficulty of Predator Battle being Master, so that's an extra 5 crystals. Beatdown Battle for 80 versus the Tempered Edge for 90. Well, Tempered Edge had like 5 stages, so or EX5 up to that, EX3 maybe. Beatdown Battle has just 1 less stage, because they really worked out the beginner 1, 2, and 3, and then normal 1, 2, and 3, and then expert 1, 2, and 3. There was a whole bunch of difficulties back then. Tempest Harvest 125 versus 300, but I would argue that this Tempest Harvest, especially the Great Harvest that we got, gave a crap ton more food. So it was less crystal rewards, but more bond XP, which would then give you supplementary crystals based on who you are and where your units were at. So I think that kind of outweighs the lower amount of crystals, but that's just my opinion. Jubilee Catalyst rewards 40. You know, we don't have good milestones anymore. The Dark Horizon raid gave us 30 crystals just for completing it. So cool. Corridor of Awakening also is a thing. That's 20 crystals. Story Chapter 21, which I don't have up here actually. So, whoops. And then Speed Battle we also got, so 30 crystals right there. So, you know, like I said, I may have missed a few things, so don't roast me over it. It's been a year. 1,320 to 1,723 crystals is, you know, 1,860 less. Very much less than what we got last year, just as terms of first-time clears. Even more less when we add in story chapters that we got during the half anniversary. So that would have probably been closer to 2,000 then. Moving over into the kind of one-off scenarios, we got the login, which 720 crystals, definitely not as good as 1,000. We had the 5 million download login, 140, and then the download quest gave us 105, which technically this also gave us 105, 5 crystals, whatever. But the login gave us 140 versus just a flat-out 100. This login is still technically going on until the 4th or something, but I counted all of it, just, you know, for funsies. We got the Invite a Friend campaign, everyone's favorite thing. And this 500 crystals is if you were able to actually get everyone to use your code, which I still know some people are having difficulties, which it's a really shitty system. I'm not gonna front it. It's a really crappy system, and it can really lock people out of getting free crystals. So it's not very good, but if you were somehow able to get all of your friends to use it, then you got a total of 500 crystals. We got the raid milestones, we got the introduction quest, which was the Velzard and Violet and Guy thing down here. Or not Violet, but Valentine. It starts with a V, give me a break. And then we also got the free dupe, so we'll count that later. Jubilee ranking awards, 20 to 600, because we only have one Jubilee, and it's still going on for another couple hours. We have Conquest Prime, which is brand new, 45 crystals if you completed everything, which I have not completed everything. I'm working, or getting ready to do a video series on all of these stages. I do have 2 of them complete. But I have like an intro video, and then I'm going to do a video for each stage, so stay tuned for that. That's coming. And then we got that random bug occurrence for 80 crystals. It's a consolation prize. So that puts us at around 1,700 to 2,300 crystals. And then moving finally over into the single tickets and everything, we got the daily singles, which is still going on, 19 days total. Haven't pulled anything from that, spoiler alert. Got the 10% rate tickets we got from the bingo boards, from logins, so that's a total of 5 of them. We got the guaranteed 5-star ticket from the login. We got 30 normal bingo tickets, and that's just from like the bog standard bingo board, this right here. These tickets, there was 3 boards, they gave us 10 tickets each, so 30 tickets right there. And then we got the banner tickets from Milestone Rewards and the shop for Guy and Valentine and Velzard. So we got 75 total tickets, which is a value of 2,250 crystals right there, which is obviously almost double, more than that, well, yeah, more than double what we got up here, which, I mean, is good, but, you know, we're lacking in crystals over here, so when we actually do the math, we got about 3,000 to 4,000 crystals, plus 75 single summons, which if you add that, where's my calculator, because I don't feel like doing that, so 4023 plus, what, 2250? Yeah, plus 2250 is about 6,273, value crystals versus the like 6,220. Wow. Right? Because that's a 10 up here. Yeah. So, in reality, we're actually relatively close in total crystals. 6273, 6220. This, of course, does, mean that you got all your invited friends and you placed high in Jubilee. This also means that you would placed high in both Jubilees. So, I mean, those are about offsetting right there. 500 crystals, 600 crystals. So, we got a lot more tickets and single summons than the original half anniversary, which is good because those are free things and you don't have to work for them that hard. So pretty even right there as far as crystal counts. Now going down, let's grade the value of the units released. So I've already highlighted the people who I think are better. So the half anniversary, we got Protector Veldora as a summonable, and then shitty-ass Rimuru as a second summonable. We have Velzard as our summonable, and Dino as our free-to-play, which they didn't have a free-to-play Protector back then. Velzard, I think, is better. Veldora does buff just generic space attack, but he's kind of in that weird ground where he was the first stacking Protector ever, and they hadn't really locked down how they wanted to do it. So instead of buffing blue orbs by 100% up to 500, he was buffing every single orb 50 up to 250%. So, you can still have other orbs with you, but as a primary focused blue stacking team, you didn't get nearly as many points. You got exactly half as many points as you would from blues than you would now, and that just didn't really work out that well. It was good for back then because we didn't have teams with 5 80-point skills, so we didn't really need that many points, but, I mean, nowadays, Velzard is better. The extra damage buff, the extra stats and everything, it is a little bit more specific, but I still think Velzard's better. And then Rimuru is just better based on the fact that he's a summonable 5-star protector, and he does a crap ton more than what Dino does, because Dino is a free 4-star. So, not really a good comparison right here, but we did get 2 protectors during each one, so we have to make the comparison. As far as battle units are concerned, Milim and the hero were also on the first banner. Milim, still a very, very, very strong single-target powerhouse. Probably still the strongest single-target unit in the game because of what Drago can do. But, she is a support/DPS. Guy is a very big support while also being a DPS unit, even if he doesn't have like his own personal attack buff. Like what he's doing for the team is far outweighs what Milim is doing for the team. A 50% space buff is cool. Guy is giving an 80% alt buff, guaranteed crits to physical, and he's got the triple orb changing. Guy has much more lasting value than Milim does, and so that's why I've highlighted him as better. The hero is a lot better than Valentine. I know there's a lot of Valentine stands out there, and I know I'm really, really harsh on her. She is a good unit, but if you try to compare her directly with the staying power of the hero, who is still being used to this day a full year later, she's not going to do it. She's not going to be here in a year. I can almost 100% guarantee that. She'll be in your box. You just won't have used her for about 6 months. So the hero came out on top on that. And then Violet is better than Carrion. Violet has, the blue steel. She has the double buff / debuff. Carrion had the orb change the orange to blues, and then he had his crit damage and his own personal attack buff. I personally don't use Carrion really at all for anything anymore. I'm going to use Violet a lot more. But his crit damage buff was 20%, which, was universal. So that is pretty good for him. Then we got Diablo 2.0. I hated this banner. If you were never around for my videos during the original half anniversary, this motherfucker and the Rimuru banner forced me to go to 300 pity. I pulled 2 of him in 300 pity, and I had to pity Rimuru. It was one of the worst shafts in my life, and it was coming off of the insane amount of crystals I'd used to get the hero, Milim and Veldora, and Carrion. So I have very, very bitter bitter feelings about Diablo 2.0, who really isn't used to this day anyways, and bitch-ass Protector Rimuru, who is still 84. So, yeah. Ill. Diablo is very much inferior to EX Rimuru, giving up to a free alt gauge, essentially, and having that orb swap skill. Very much more useful than whatever Diablo has ever done in this game since his release. The free-to-play units, Frey versus Xion. Frey had the special conversion into blue, so 1 green, 1 orange, and she had the giveaway skill, like Earth Soe, where she just chose a person and gave 2 of her orbs away to that person. Very RNG-based. You could be lucky and you could not be lucky. I don't like that kind of RNG in my orbs. So, Xion. Orb changing that the Carrion did, right? And then the stacking crit damage and the alt gauge buff on blues is much better than what Frey gave. So Xion takes the cake there. And then we did, during the original half anniversary, get the 2 new 4-star units, Grucius and Sufia, who were on Carrion's banner. And we also got free dupes of them from login. We didn't get any of that, which I don't think I counted the extra login from that over. Okay, well, we're missing crystals. It's been a year. Sorry. Maybe then the actual half anniversary ended up being a little bit better then because of that, because I'm missing some other crystals in other places. But yeah, so overall, like, we have the main protector, the main DPS, support, more DPS, and then free to play, outweighing the half anniversary units, and we can't really count these because they didn't release anything new. So we had 2 wins over here. 1 is by default, 1 is by pure usefulness. So now going over kind of what events and things, what they would consider the 100 major campaign thing going on, right? No, that's not actually a thing. But direct comparisons. So we both got a triple banner, right? We both got ticket selector packs. We both got free dupes. Now, one was a hero dupe, and one was a protector dupe, an EX protector dupe. So I could hear arguments for both sides, because the hero is the hero, and she has protection trait on turn 3, so a free dupe of her was really, really good. But then, they've never given a free protector dupe out, especially an EX protector, so it's like the value for that is very, very high. So I have trouble determining which actual one is better, and we're not actually trying to grade these. We're just going through who had what had what. But definitely 2 very strong free dupes right here. Half Anni brought 5 more floors of tower, which we didn't get this year. We had the Flashback Crystal Bazaar first introduced during the half anniversary. That was a brand new thing. And for this, we had a few different bazaars come. We had Beatdown Battle, which they didn't have. They didn't even have a Tempered Edge bazaar. So we had the 1.5 Anni Coin Bazaar, which we still have, which is more dupes of characters or first copies of dupes. So that's insane value. The Corridor of Awakening Bazaar, cool. Valor Cup Bazaar, cool. We got the free Hero Sword off the secret stages. We got the free Rimuru gear off of the raid, which everybody got. You had to actually beat this stage with a team to actually get it, which you can do now mostly. But everyone got the Rimuru gear, and even if you don't have Rimuru, you can put it on somebody else. We got 2 Jubilees last year versus 1 this year, but we did get the raid, which kind of offsets it. Kind of, not really. I guess that does add more tickets and stuff. Another 5-star ticket into this pool, so yes, I'm missing a thing. 2 story chapters last year versus 1. We had Octogram Leon release, of which we don't have any more Octogram characters to release, unless they rerun them or revamp them or do even newer ones of them. I don't know. We don't know what's going on. We got the Carrion banner, we got the Violet banner, we got Grucius and Sufia, we got Dino, which is not really a good direct comparison, but whatever. Last year they gave us 5 Predator battle attempts a day instead of 3, which was really good, and they've never done it again. But this year we did get Master Predator battle, which, does drop more materials on completion. Well, has a chance to, because you can get 2 rainbows every time now. So I've gotten a few times where I've gotten 6 rainbow skill enhancements versus 3. So, you can get, in theory, 3, 6, 9 versus 3, 6, oh. Well, hold on, 2, 4, 6, 6, 12, 18. 18 here, God. versus 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 15. And then we also are getting the newer super enhancement ones. Then we got the Rimuru Diablo banner, and then the Rimuru banner. We got EX Challenge quests last year versus the Speed Battle event. We got the Awakening Trial for Trya, which they don't do anymore. This year we got Conquest Prime. We got the User Survey banner where people were able to vote for their favorite characters and they would be put on a banner. Didn't get that this year. We had the 10 times parallel process for the event stage versus now 15 is standard, which is cool. Also costs less stamina. We got the Predator Battle Bazaar, which was not up here, but they didn't have that last year. We got the Tempest expansion missions and the livestream crystal rewards last year. Didn't get those. We had the Rimuru Soothing Days events, 5 million download quest. We had also the 3 mil download quest and login, so I guess that does count towards that. We had the character introduction quest, which they didn't have last year, but that's where we got our free dupe of Velzard. We had the Invite a Friend campaign, as shitty as it is. We had 4 Tempest Harvests, actually 5 Tempest Harvests, I think, versus 2, but the Great Harvest, I would argue, has better value. And then we had the Flip Card event. So, in reality, like, it's pretty even as comparing the Half Anni and the 1.5 Anni. Now that we've gone through it and I've remembered things, the Half Anni did give us more crystals overall, because it was their first major celebration. They made 6 months in the game, which people, when the game came out, it was super buggy. They didn't think it would last 3, so they were celebrating, and, good for them. Now we're 1.5 years in, they kind of know what they're doing. So, yeah, I think that this was a pretty good deep dive, and does show that, we are learning, we are losing a few things here and there, but they are holding standard to what they've normally done. And some of the quality of life things introduced are, here and there better than what we had last year. So, I mean, people are always like, this game is dying, they're pushing away their player base, it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive. However, compared to other gacha games, it actually does kind of hold up. As far as price-wise, there are much cheaper games. There are much more free-to-play friendly games, don't get me wrong. But if you were to compare just pure pricing standpoint between Slime and some other games, it does kind of even out, and sometimes Slime does win. Very, very few times does it actually win in that scenario, but it is, still expensive, right? It's still a gacha game. They still want to make money. But I think this half anniversary was fairly good. It gave us a lot of stuff. It gave us a lot of singles. It gave us a lot of things to do. The raid event was definitely an interesting thing. I really hope they do it every month, but I highly doubt it. It's a way to get the community involved and hit milestones and have people actually play the game. I think it's a good thing. But, this video is almost half an hour long. We've gone through a lot of information now, but we had a lot to cover. So let me know your thoughts. If you were playing during the original half anniversary, do you think that was supremely better or worse than this current 1.5 anniversary? And if you're a newer player, did you actually enjoy this 1.5 anniversary? Minus the Invite a Friend. That we all know that this is shit. So, disregarding the Invite a Friend, did you enjoy everything that this 1.5 anniversary gave us? And you can include the hero and Shizu in the beginning of that as well if you want. But that's it from me, guys. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for the live stream at 4 a.m. and we'll go from there. But take it easy, and I'll see you then.